Have you ever noticed that around different people, you almost become a different version of yourself? Your personality changes. Your opinions soften. Your behavior adjusts to match whoever you're around. If that feels familiar, you might not be fake, like some people say. You may have simply learned to mirror others in order to feel accepted. Many people go through life adapting themselves to match the people around them. They laugh at jokes they don't really find funny. They agree with opinions they aren't sure they believe. They adjust their personality depending on the environment they're in. Over time, this can become such an automatic habit that the person may eventually ask themselves a difficult question. Do I even know who I really am? This pattern is sometimes called mirroring, and while it can be a normal part of human behavior, for some people it becomes a survival strategy. What mirroring looks like. Mirroring can show up in many subtle ways. You might notice yourself adapting your personality depending on who you are with, changing your tone, interests, or humor to match others, agreeing with things even when you feel uncertain, avoiding expressing opinions that might create conflict, feeling different depending on the group you're around. Many people who mirror others are highly observant and emotionally aware. They can quickly read the energy in a room and adjust themselves to maintain harmony. On the surface, this may look like someone who is easygoing, agreeable, and socially skilled. But internally, it can sometimes lead to confusion about personal identity. Why this pattern develops. For many people, mirroring begins early in life. Children naturally learn about the world by observing and copying others. But when someone grows up in environments where acceptance felt uncertain, their brain may learn that adapting to others is the safest way to belong. If expressing opinions led to criticism, if being different led to rejection, if peace in the home depended on keeping others happy, the nervous system may begin to associate adapting with safety. Over time, the brain becomes very skilled at reading people and adjusting behavior accordingly. What began as protection can become a deeply ingrained habit. The challenge of losing your sense of self. While mirroring can help people navigate social situations, it can also create an internal struggle. Someone who constantly adapts may begin to feel unsure about their own identity. They might ask themselves questions like, what do I actually like? What do I really believe? Who am I when no one else is around? This can create a feeling of emotional disconnection, as though the person is always adjusting to others, but rarely showing their true self. And sometimes, this pattern can lead to exhaustion. Constantly monitoring how to act, what to say, and how to respond requires a lot of mental energy. When mirroring is healthy. It's important to recognize that mirroring itself is not always unhealthy. In fact, small amounts of mirroring are a normal part of social connection. We naturally adjust our tone, body language, and communication style when interacting with different people. This helps build trust and rapport. The difference is that healthy mirroring still allows space for your authentic thoughts, feelings, and identity. Moving toward authenticity. If someone recognizes this pattern in themselves, the goal is not to judge or criticize it. Remember, these patterns often formed as ways to stay emotionally safe. Instead, the goal is to slowly reconnect with personal identity. This might involve asking simple but meaningful questions. What activities genuinely make me feel alive? What opinions or beliefs feel important to me? What kind of environments allow me to feel comfortable being myself? Developing self-awareness takes time, but it allows people to move from automatic adaptation toward authentic connection. Mirroring others does not mean someone is fake or insincere. Often it means they learn to be highly aware of other people's emotions and needs. But everyone deserves the space to exist as their own person, not just the version of themselves that feels easiest for others to accept. Learning who you truly are is a process. And the more you allow yourself to explore your own thoughts, interests, and values, the more your authentic identity begins to emerge. Understanding these emotional and behavioral patterns is an important step toward self-awareness. When we begin to understand why we react, adapt, and relate the way we do, we can approach ourselves with more compassion. Because sometimes the patterns we criticize in ourselves were once the very things that helped us feel safe, and growth begins not with judgment, but with understanding.